guys, welcome to HitGuns.com. Today I'm here to talk about the operation of an M203 grenade launcher and moss cart grenade shells. A lot of people get this gun and think to themselves, how do I operate this particular grenade apparatus, because there's such a huge variety of grenades on the market. Here we only have two of the particular models. I mean, companies like Mad Bull, S Thunder, ICS, there's literally all kinds of grenade launchers. Companies making grenade launcher peripherals all over the place. Mad Bull being the most notable one. But today we're here to talk about the budget line variant of this, and that is the D-Boy line. Here we have a D-Boy M203 short grenade launcher. This is the front part of the DIY kit, which means this is a 3-in-1 mounting kit, which can come with three different mallets, one for an M16, one for an older style M4, and it comes with a pretty universal RAS setup, which means it's not just limited to the M4, M16 platform. It can be used on just about any gun. I've in fact managed to attach one of these to an MP5. But we're not really talking about the launcher itself, we're talking about the grenades, because a lot of questions have come up, in particular on how to operate these. There's two major types of grenades in terms of operation. I mean, they're all gas operated. They all run on propane, green gas, top gas, depending on what model you get. What separates them from the others is what level of abuse they can take. Most of the Japanese grenades, I believe, use HFC 134A, which is pretty uncommon gas over here, since there's a FPS regulation in Japan as well. That being said, here we have two pretty common green gas use ones. Here we have an ICS MA77. This is a 72-shot grenade with, I believe, 9 barrels. And here we have a D-Boy 40mm, I think it's BI-57 is the model. This one is a 18-shot grenade. This one actually has a pretty small reservoir. This one actually has a pretty large reservoir, but we'll cover that in a moment. Okay. But there's two major types of grenades in terms of how they operate. There's self-resetting, and then there's just standard style grenades. This particular one is not a self-resetting grenade. This one particularly is, and we'll show you the difference in a moment. Okay. First, let's explain in textbook form what it is. Self-resetting means that the percussion cap, plunger, whatever you want to call it, resets itself. Because what happens on most older models, it'll push in and it'll get stuck around the surface on the opening port on the back of the grenade. This one has that particular issue. This one does not, because this one has a self-contained unit for the bearings, the clutch bearings, and this one doesn't. This one actually has an older style one where it'll get stuck. In fact, you can get it stuck by finger if you need to. But, yeah, anyways. Okay, so let's show you the basic operation. Here we have some propane. As you probably already know and probably have upgraded to, propane and green gas are very similar, thus they function the same way, and this is the more cost-effective method. Before using your propane adapter, particularly the Sapien Arms one, which we have here, you want to unscrew the top portion of this. Take some silicone oil. This is usually provided in the plastic kits. You should just put 2 drops of silicone oil in there. This is because green gas contains silicone oil that's actually meant to be beneficial to your gun's seals, etc., etc., etc. So once we have a little bit of silicone on there, screw that down real good. Don't do it too tight because plastic tends to want to break and strip easier. Okay, now that we've done that, you want to charge grenades. Some grenades may have it in the rear, some may have it on the top. These particular ones have it on the top. Most, if not rather, some of the S Thunder ones have the charging valve right here on the bottom. But, like I said, we're going to cover these ones that we sell. So, alright, what you want to do, get your propane valve on top of the charge valve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ought to suffice in this model. And then with this one you can do a 3-second charge. This one is a smaller capacity model, so 1, 2, 3. Once you charge your grenades, you want to load them into your grenade launcher, which goes without saying. Chances are when you get this item and you just charge it, you're fumbling to have fun with it. So let's show you the older style one. Okay, to load it in, you have to learn how to operate the grenade launcher first, which we'll show you in a moment. There's 3 major functions of the grenade launcher you need to keep in mind. There's the open port. You push in on it, slide it forward. Be careful not to push it forward too hard, because you can break this the stop latch right here, which it's very easy to break, but it's something you can do without. It's something that can be worked around, but just for the sake of breaking what's not broken, try not to be too forceful with it. So slide it forward, take the grenade, slide it into the launcher body. It should just fit in there flush. There's actually two on these models. There's two prongs that hold onto the extractor right here that keep it from sliding out easy. And on the rear right here, there's actually an extractor for when it's unloaded. This will pull it out of the launcher. And here you have the percussion, or the firing pin right here. Okay, so slide this back. There you go. Once you've got that ready, undoubtedly you should know how to operate the grenade launcher. There's a trigger, you pull it, it shoots. Okay, but before we do that, let's address the safety. There is a safety on this thing. It's located right here. It's a little sear in the front. Locks like that. You can't access the grenade launcher's trigger, and you can't use it, even with it halfway cocked. So once you've done that, fire the grenade. Okay, good. Once it's out, eject it. Okay. What we meant by self-resetting is, if you'll notice, as opposed to the other grenades, this grenade launcher. See how this one is flush, this one isn't? That's because the grenade hasn't reset itself. How to reset it? Well, first off, let's show you what happens when it doesn't reset as opposed to when it is reset. When it's stuck in the closed position, or the open position, it'll just do this. It won't hold gas. So, to get rid of that problem, what you want to do is you want to twist the grenade's body left twice, and then push it on the firing pin. When you do this, you should feel a engaging click. That means that you've re-engaged the firing pin to the spring. So it should be reset by that point. And then you want to tighten it. There you go. It should be reset, and it should accept the charge again. Accepted the charge. And you can hand detonate these. I don't recommend that you do, because a lot of times you can forget it's loaded, and you could do what I did earlier and shoot it off in my face by accident. Sucked that was my face again. Anyways. Here we have the ICS grenade. This particular model is a self-resetting model, as we addressed earlier. Remember that problem? Keep that in mind. We'll show you what makes that different. Charge grenade. Okay. Load it into the grenade launcher. Or if you're just going to be, if you think you're going to be funny when you're playing, you detonate it right next to somebody's head. Make them go deaf for a second. Okay. Okay. Ready? Fire. Okay. And by self-resetting, we mean this. It's ready to go again. Sometimes it may need to be reset, sometimes it may not. This one's a little more tolerable to being reset, because once you fire it, okay, so once you reset it, you just one twist, and it'll be ready to go. That's the basic difference between types of grenades. The biggest difference between grenades is usually their gas capacity, their BB's capacity, and some types of grenade launchers can have problems. This one actually has some issues with some of the larger S-Thunder grenades. It's a minor discrepancy. There's lots of forums that find ways around it. Grenade launcher is definitely not a beginner's use weapon, especially the M203s. I mean, like, you know, there's no such thing as a beginner's weapon. I mean, you all have to learn the hard way sometimes, but there is plenty of help forums out there for Airsoft, because there's no official source, and that's what we're here for too. So, if any other questions, feel free to shoot us an email, give us a call, and we'll be glad to help you out. Thanks for choosing HitGuns, and